Hello, and welcome back to the next episode of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Sorry I was gone for a bit there, had some schoolwork to take care of, but that's over with now, and if you remember last time, we were here at the Hirata Estate. We got some new prosthetic tools, and we found our father, who is not doing so well right now, as well as this entire place being on fire. So, yeah. Time to head on and see what that's about. So this is the path that he told us about. And so this is the way we've got to go. Grapple over there, you got to jump right at the edge of the platform. And then do it again. Oh, they didn't make that. And then drop down here. I mean, if you don't make it, then you can grapple that point, but it's better to make that one. And even if you really mess it up, then you can get that one. The game is not too unforgiving with, well, with this particular bit. At some points it can be. So, as always, we want to be very sneaky and careful. Don't want to alert anyone, because the fewer enemies we have to fight, the better chances we have. Obviously. So he's down, no one noticed, because they're dumb. And I'm just making sure there's no one over here. There is one. Sometimes you miss these things, and he can run up and ambush you if you go for someone else, and then he spots you. So he's a bow guy, and as you know, bow guys have notoriously little health and posture, so we take him down very easily with just one attack. There's a shield guy, but we don't want to spend the spirit emblems, so we take him out. There's an axe guy, who, as you know, we hate. So we get back, do thrusts, and then we don't have to deal with his annoying attacks. Oh, he can do that. He can kick sand at you and blind you sometimes, which will also take off your lock-on, which is quite rude. Ow. Okay. I'm a little out of practice. It's been a few days. Ah. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Perhaps we do a little run around, eat a pellet. Oh, goodness me. How did I miss all of that, Makiri? That is impressive. Alright then, we'll just leave them alone. Where we're supposed to be going is through here, and then we're supposed to wall kick up this cliff. Oh, it's still coming after me. Well, alright, if you insist. It would be rude to deny them. And now they've separated off once again. The advantages of running away and then coming back never cease to amaze in this game. Like that, he's down, and now there's only two of them to deal with. Make that one, and make that none. So, as I was saying, we are supposed to kick our way up this cliff here. As we saw earlier with the path to the Mist Raven Feather, that's how you climb up those, but it's telling you here because, as I said before, that is optional. Oil. And there is a lovely sculptor's idol for us. Now, coming up is what can serve as a roadblock to a lot of new players. Hopefully we're going to get through it fairly quickly, but we'll see, basically. Because there's a lot of enemies, and they're arranged in quite annoying ways. I believe there's a guy around, not this corner, the next corner. A bunch of guys down there. You can try to avoid them, but oftentimes they will spot you unless you are very careful about it. So do your best, and as we always do, try to go for the bow guys first, because they go down very easily. if that's not an option, there's lots of other people around. I always do that, despite having fought quite a lot of these guys. I still do it. Never underestimate thrust attacks, they're really quite useful. Where did you come from? As you can see, we are near a level up there, so I'm... Well, I suppose we have to go back now, because now we won't lose that much if we do go down, so it's fine. Although we'll lose quite a bit of money, so hoping to make it through this with no deaths. Now, fighting all of those guys that I just killed isn't really recommended or optimal. If you want to increase your chances of getting past unseen, a gachi and sugar can really take you far. I didn't use these for a long time, and then it was through one of my New Game Plus playthroughs of this area that I realised those sugars can be really quite useful because they make you practically invisible, and it's incredible how useful it is. So, recommended. We did use a charge of the healing gourd, which is not ideal. I believe there's, yeah, just one guy in here. There's a big area, but there is a guy here. He tries to alert them, but if we kill that guy, it interrupts him. And as you can see, there's a bunch of people out there, and there is a mini boss hiding away as well. So you want to be super duper careful. Now, we won't be able to stealth kill everyone because they're in a big open area. It's not really feasible, but we can take out as many as possible. And as we always say, running away works pretty effectively. Now, for this boss, as always, firecrackers are recommended. And oh, I never actually went and attached the Mist Raven. This is what I get for being away from the game for like a week. Well, okay. If you do go and get the Mist Raven prosthetic attachment, it is highly recommended for this boss. More than just the usual one, because his attacks are quite slow and it gives you a lot of time to utilize it. Another one is the Flame Vent, because he can block quite a lot, but he can't block fire all that effectively. So we're going to probably switch out the Shuriken for the Flame Vent. And so we're going to try and get this guy before anyone spots us, and then after that it's probably going to be no more stealth from there. Unless of course we run off. So there's a bow guy over there. We always go for the bow guy. And how many have we got to deal with here? A few. Especially with a guy like that and his massive sword. Staying out of range of it with thrust attacks, recommended. So if you do quick darting thrust attacks and then get out of there, there's absolutely no shame in doing so. After all, these are AI opponents, no one's going to be mad at you. That's one down. Didn't death blow him, but that's alright. Avoid that. That sword does major damage. Alright, alright. That was absolutely all intentional. None of that was just coincidental at all. Another one down. Only a few to go. Now, this area is another example of using the environment to your advantage and just the things that the game gives you. If you want to, after taking out all these guys, you can run off, he will forget about you, and you can very easily get just a free stealth death blow on this guy, because even though he starts over here, he will come out into the middle of the arena and just stand out there idly. And then the shield guy, he's down. Now, the other thing you can do to get an advantage here is to come over here and talk to this guy. I would listen to all of his text, but there's a giant guy with a sword bearing down on us. But this is, well, Megami Gensai, as he introduces himself. And he is going to assist us in this as part of the people who were hired to protect our lord. But this guy's rhythm can be very difficult to get for people to get used to when they're new to the game, because he's very peculiar. He does spray poison at you as well, so if you have some antidote powder, keep that handy. But he's also very delayed in his attacks, which people aren't used to at this point in the game. So, if you're having trouble with him, there's absolutely no shame in such a thing. With that, we are going to use our second healing gourd because we're getting kind of low. But so is he, at least on this first death blow. As you saw that sweep attack just a moment ago, as always you can jump on him to counter that. And that's one death blow down. Let's see if we can get the other one down without Nogami dying. That's a grab! Okay. Ouch. Yeah, that's a death blow. That's almost always an insta-kill at this point in the game, so try not to get grabbed by that. We're gonna definitely need a pellet here. Whenever he drinks from this gourd, that means either he's going to spray poison, or he's going to spray it on his sword. Okay, well it seems like Nogami's probably not going to make it, but that's alright. You don't really get anything keeping him alive, but it is a shame. But, ow! And he will come back if you also die, so it's not too big of a deal. I think we're going to switch over to the firecrackers just to get some easy stuns on him. I don't think I've used the firecrackers on anyone really major yet, but they do work. They don't typically work in quick succession. You will need to wait a bit, which I forgot. But yeah, as you can see, getting hit with his poison sword, even on a perfect deflect, still builds up poison on you. Which is quite nasty. Could have jumped on him there, but I was scared and ran away. Ow! Nope, nope, no grabs. Okay. We're pretty even here, but I think I can pull this off. Whoa! And there we go. Oh, that's good. I really didn't want to lose like 800 yen, so that's fortunate. We get another prayer bead and some unrefined sake, which doesn't do anything by itself. We can't use it. It's for other purposes. I think that sounded a lot more sinister than it was. You can just give it to people as a gift, like the sculptor or Emma, which we will do probably to finish off this episode, I think. But first we got to get through here. No one in here, seems like. But we saw some people through here, didn't we? Man with a boat. Take him down. Guy with a sword, you can easily overwhelm. And I believe that's it. And puts us at level 4, which is very nice. Dowsing powder for those nasty burns. Pellets, good. We used quite a few of those, so good to get some more. There's this woman over here who is not an enemy. I don't know if you can attack her. I'm not going to, just in case. If you may remember, the name of the son of the person of the woman who gave us the spell was also Inosuke, and he said that he remembered us, so I do believe we found out where from, and this must have been the mother 3 years ago. Here we have a sculptor's idol, but just before we use that, we're going to grab this, Amiibo Balloon of Soul. When you use it, you get more stuff for your resurrective power for a bit, which is quite nice. Some oil. Oil can also be quite useful against Juzou if you want to make sure that he gets set on fire, because I don't think I actually got him to burn. I think I just used the flame for damage there. But if you really want to make sure that he does, chuck a few flasks of oil, just 1 or 2 will do, and then that will normally just one use will set him on fire. Another big blue balloon of wealth, some coin purse, and then I believe over here, divine confetti. That's not what I was looking for. Here we go. Chest. And that makes our 4th prayer bead. That means we can actually use them to do something now. And I'd highly recommend grabbing this, as it's going to be useful pretty soon. So if we go to the sculptor's idol, we have this long corridor leading down. We'll rest to get our stuff back. We can acquire skills. We've got 4 levels worth, and that's a lot. I think. Oh, we've actually got enough for this. Ooh. You know what? The opportunity's there. Why not? So now our medicine will heal us more. So our flasks will be more efficient, and we can also enhance physical attributes now that we have 4 of these prayer beads. The first prayer necklace. The ferocity of Ashina's army is renowned throughout the nation. Its generals are especially talented, every one of them accomplished in the Ashina sword style. Alright, so our maximum vitality and posture has increased, which is quite nice. It does not increase our attack power, that's something else. And before we finish off, we're going to go back to the temple and get that new prosthetic tool fixed. So, Sculptor Buddy Powell, how's it going? So we're going to get the tool fitted first. So, now we have the Mist Raven in our arm. Essentially what this tool does is you activate it, and if you do it just before you would have normally gotten hit, you will instead disappear, and you can move as a small cloud of feathers, essentially, and attack out of that, which is quite nice. It's a sort of counter. If it's an attack that you don't think you can deflect, or if you just can't deflect it, like a grab, which would have been nice for Juzou, then you can just use that and disappear. Of course, it costs spirit emblems, like all the others, but still very useful. And we can also give him the sake that we got from Juzou. Alright, we learned a little more about our friend the sculptor, as well as a little bit of world building in the grand scheme of things. Emma, I don't think, has anything new to say. So until then, yeah, that's the end of this episode, I think. There is that corridor to go down in the Hirata Estate. We're not going to be going back there next episode because there's essentially 2 paths you can go, which is back through the Ashina outskirts, which is the main plot. The Hirata Estate is technically completely optional, but it's highly recommended to do. Or there's the end of the Hirata Estate, and just because it's better for newer players, we're going to be continuing through the Ashina outskirts and then going back to the Hirata Estate after a little bit. So until then, yeah, thanks for coming. Hope to see you in the next episode.